We are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with J.K. Rowling, Warner Brothers.
If you think that that's all we're doing on the podcast, then we're going to have to send you straight to the dungeons with Filch.
Welcome, witches, wizards, and muggles. We are Squibs Corner. I am your host, Jeremiah, and I'm joined with
Andrew.
Oh, and before we go any farther, I have to put a disclaimer out here. We are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with J.K. Rowling, Warner Brothers production, anything Harry Potter. This is just the opinions of two Harry Potter fans. So, no affiliation with the franchise at all. Now that that's out of the way, I also have to say this because some of you may have been a listener in the past. The original podcast went on a hiatus due to a number of reasons. This has led to a complete overhaul of the podcast, including a new co-host. So if you are a returning listener, welcome back. And if you're new, welcome.
Guys, this podcast experience is going to be so much fun. Because some of the things that we want to delve into anything related to the Harry Potter books, Harry Potter lore, undertones, the read and unread undertones, the heard and unheard. And to put it frank, there's not going to be a book left after we get done tearing it apart in a good way. So really what we want to do, some of our intentions are to make you think about the books, characters, plots, places, events, timelines in different ways than maybe that you've thought about them before, just by having two different perspectives from people that have read the books over and over and over and over and over and over again. Think of this podcast. We're trying to surgically and strategically dissect the books and the stories, and cutting, adding, replacing, and maybe even making something new in the end. Who knows?
Yeah, we can't stress this enough. We will attempt to rip apart the books, metaphorically speaking, of course, because I do not want to actually rip up my books. They are a precious commodity that need to be protected at all times. But we want to explain absolutely everything we can about the books, and in the most detail that we can. The lore will get deep here, my witches, wizards, and muggles.
And if you think that that's all we're doing on the podcast, then we're gonna have to send you straight to the dungeons with Filch or with Umbridge, even worse. Yes. But we're gonna be doing a lot of deep dives into the chapters. So obviously the podcast, every episode, regularly scheduled episode, will be dissecting a chapter, starting with year 1, chapter 1, and then we'll have side quests, and the side quests can be episodes dedicated to explaining certain topics of Harry Potter, such as broomsticks or wand lore, or the 4 house originations, and anything else that we feel, or that maybe some of the listeners feel, might merit some sort of deeper dive, some deeper explanation.
Mm-hmm. But that's not all. This list just keeps going. Anything Harry Potter goes here. If you want to be a guest and then tell us why you love and what you love so much about Harry Potter, that's an episode. If you want to hear about news or updates, that's an episode. If we want to wish you happy holidays, that's an episode. You kind of get where this is going, get what we're throwing down. Are you going to pick it up? And if we want to just come on here and simply check up on all of our listeners and make sure that your mental health is doing okay, that's an episode. Oh, and did we mention we're also going to be covering the brand new Harry Potter HBO series reboot that is said to come out in 2026. I am not joking when I say you will understand Harry Potter in a way that you never have before. And we will be here
always.